Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is June. I'm a videographer of sorts. If you watched some of the other videos, you might have noticed this is a new place that I'm in. I have moved now from Surrey to Abbotsford. You might also notice I have a mask on my face. I'm one of the few individuals that regularly wore one before coronavirus became a thing. And that's because I'm allergic to my cats. So sometimes when it gets too bad, I need to put on a mask indoors by myself, so I don't die. So this is a review of the AirPods Pro from a videographer and video editor's perspective. Now obviously these aren't meant for videographers or video editing, and they shouldn't ever replace a good pair of headphones or speakers, but you can't really deny the convenience factor of them and the appeal of the noise cancellation that they provide. So like with most purchases, I began to justify and imagine scenarios in which these would be very useful to me. And the first scenarios that popped into mind were calls with clients, as well as listening to music or podcasts.
We all have casts available on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Check it out.
Second scenario was to use them as external mics and connect them to my iPhone and record audio externally that way. And the third and main one was obviously to use them while editing outdoors in a noisy location such as a cafe. The basic idea there was to turn on noise cancellation to focus better, but also just to keep the volume down to protect my ears, because I've definitely noticed my ears have been somewhat affected by long hours of editing. And I think I can attribute that to using earphones that had no isolation of sound or anything like that. It was like basic Apple earphones that forced me to really raise the volume whenever I was outdoors. So in regards to the first scenario, as we tend to do when we're rationalizing or justifying a purchase, there's a lot of hypotheticals. And for me, that was client calls. So what client calls actually translated to were just calls with my girlfriend. Even here though, it already kind of failed. The call quality was actually very bad. And on my end of things, the treble was amplified to a point that really hurts your ears. And for me, it just made me want to hang up. And if you're on the phone with another AirPods user and they're walking outside, every time a car drives past, it's unbearably loud and completely drowns out the person's voice. Listening to music on these, however, is an absolute pleasure, and I love the fact that there's a charging case and no wires at all. Second scenario, using it as an external audio source. Here's a quick example comparing the audio from the AirPod Pros to the Video Mic Pro Plus from Rode. So to describe this scenario a little bit more specifically, this is recording with my iPhone right now, and I don't have to be shouting, which is nice. And now I'm beginning my late 20s, and it's funny because I'm starting my late 20s by moving back with my parents. And there's a whole array of emotions that comes along with that fact, I think. This place is not only my early 20s, this place is my whole video journey and photo journey. It began here, really. It began with videos like this, where I was just talking to the camera for very just personal stuff. A diary entry of sorts. Now, as you may have heard, it really pales in comparison in terms of audio quality, even compared to a shotgun mic on a camera quite a distance away. And compared to a high quality microphone like this one close to your mouth, it's completely worlds apart. Honestly, I would even go as far as to say that it's probably better to just speak into the iPhone microphone directly like this. And even speaking into the wired earphones by Apple, I think would be a better alternative than to speak into your AirPods Pro. Now for the last scenario, editing, specifically editing outdoors in a cafe or somewhere that's loud and busy. With this scenario, I'm a little bit torn because in some regards, I really liked the experience, but then overall, I would never do it again. The first time I used these in a cafe, I was blown away because everything just kind of melts. There's no other sound, and you can really focus in on your edit. You don't really notice, I guess, how much background noise there really is until you use a pair of noise canceling earphones or headphones. The result of this was that I was really able to zero in on the edit and just focus just on that process. And also additionally, I was initially worried that there might be some latency issues or lag issues, because I experienced those types of issues before when I was using my Jaybird X3 Bluetooth earphones, but I was pleasantly surprised at the fact that there was no syncing issues, there was no latency issues. You press play on the timeline and it plays right away. Connecting them to Premiere Pro is also very easy. You just go into your audio settings and you select them as your output. So that led me to believe that this is perfect, this is great. Like, that alone justifies the purchase. 2 to 3 hours later though, I developed an excruciatingly painful migraine that persisted for the rest of the day. And really, I think the cause was the prolonged use of noise cancellation. Now obviously there's no research behind that, and it's just kind of a gut feeling type of thing, and it could just be me. But regardless, it really made me not want to use noise cancellation again. And to be quite honest, I haven't tried since, just because I really don't want to have that migraine again. And to not use it in noise cancellation mode, I think that kind of defeats the purpose of buying these in the first place. It doesn't help to keep the volume down on my computer and doesn't really cut out any external distractions. But the reason I'm torn is because this could just be me. It might just be my own experience. Others might be able to use these for hours on end with noise cancellation turned on and not have any issues. And if that wasn't the issue for me, I would really enjoy that experience. Like, it was very smooth and very easy to use. The only bothersome thing was kind of switching back and forth between the MacBook and my iPhone. But that aside, the noise canceling was great. Again, there was no latency issues and there's no wire, so it's very convenient and comfortable to use. So in conclusion, would I recommend these? I'm not entirely sure. If you don't have another pair of go-to headphones like I do, then probably don't go for these at all, because for half the price you can get a really good pair of wired headphones that will last you forever and they deliver much better audio quality. But honestly, even if you do have another pair of headphones, I'm not quite sure that I would recommend these just because of the price tag and what you get for that price. They are a pleasure to use, even though sometimes they do fall out of my ears when I'm leaning over, and they're great if you're just using them to listen to music. Hands-free calling honestly is very comfortable if you're using them, but the person on the other end of the line might have some issues hearing you. And if you call another person and they're using AirPods Pro, then you'll really hear kind of the issues of the call quality with these things. So for calls, I much prefer using speakerphone or just using the wired earphones from Apple. And for editing sessions, I'm just back to using my Audio Technicas or the Shure SE215s. So with all that being said, I really can't recommend these guys. I think it's too expensive for what they are. Call quality is one of the major functions of it, I think, and the microphone quality is just trash. Audio quality is just normal. It's not great or anything like that. These are just very convenient pieces of technology, but it's not really a utilitarian one unless you are just primarily using it to listen to music. Anyways, that's it from me today. So sorry for the mask and for any muffled audio that results from that. And obviously the glass is fogging up every few seconds. And yeah, hopefully you found this useful. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know as well. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Bye.